Gave you a
Okay. What is going on? LBHT crew B Ferris. What is going on?
Just another day with the most dominant defense in the NFL. Feels good. Remember, kids, pressure is production. That's how you shut out offensive powerhouse like the Atlanta Falcons. Ferris, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on the show. I appreciate it.
Of course, you're always welcome here. First, I was actually thinking about you last night. I was watching the Connecticut Sun and the
what?
Connecticut Sun. No. Who was it? The Mercury.
The Mercury. Yeah, they came back on my links. Yeah.
I always get confused because it's supposed to be Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, it's Phoenix Sun, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough about the Sun, it's just the Sun. It's no S.
Because it's the casino.
Yeah, the Mohegan Sun. Yeah.
That was a great game.
Shout out to the native tribe.
Yeah. But yes, look, thanks for joining us. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. But if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are listening to the audio form of this, we put this out on Thursday at lunchtime. So we hope you're enjoying your lunch break. Make sure you leave a 5-star review because we're trying to grow on that side. And we are growing. So keep spreading the word. We appreciate that. And who do we have in the chat? Man, you guys are up with us. Yes, me too. Man, they were up late with us on Monday night, Ferris.
Oh, they were. I was there, yes.
And they're still here. They're still ready to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. What's going on? Osman says, hello, all. We got pay the bills in the house. Says, let's get it. He says, fire Harbach ASAP. Okay. All right. Urban's in the house. What's up, Urban? Thanks for coming through. Game Too Easy says, did y'all see Hard's presser? He said the O-line played well because they were graded well. Like, what, bruh?
Why are you watching the Ravens press conference? You still coping, man?
Like,
what's going on, gang?
Harbaugh is he's just going to lie to you. Like, he's never going to tell you the truth, especially in the loss. I mean, it is what it is, and he can do that when he's comfortable. He's comfortable in his job. Those are words of a person that's just comfortable. Okay, so
yeah, it doesn't matter what he tells the fans because he knows he's not going to get fired. We did get a Cash App from our guy Noah. Thank you very much, Noah. He says, shout out to my guys and the LBHT crew. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And this is for you, Noah. Appreciate you. Thank you. Who else we got in here? Just Allo says, hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Salute to you, Just Allo. We got Yolanda in the house. Says, hey, everyone. Hey, Yolanda. Thanks for coming through. Make sure you guys subscribe to Ravens Talk with Yolanda. She does a lot of live streams with Hendo from the Roll Pod, especially on game days. So if you want to go through that trauma with somebody, so you're not by yourself watching this team disappoint you week after week, go check them out.
Well, look, it's about to be a winning streak over there.
You did, yep. We did break it down, and B is absolutely correct. Good times are ahead. DDSQ was good. Appreciate you coming through.
Hey, man, shout out to Chandler B, man. They're looking good.
Chandler B says, how can we get Harbs deported? Hey, man.
Jeez.
Look, it's just football.
That's rough.
It's just football, Rock on, bro, Heems. That's what Nitro from the Wonderkin Show says. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Wonderkin Show. Let's see. Oh, Noah is
listen, I told you to stop bringing up Noah's comments until he traced me to the raw.
Man, right? No, it is what it is, man. It is
what it is. It ain't what it ain't. All right. Send me an offer for Tetaroa, Noah.
Lakafor was giving EDC the smoke yesterday. He always Say what you want about him, but he was spot on. Yeah, no. Lockafor is very critical of EDC, as he should be.
Yeah.
I got Adrian from Press Start 410's in the house. What's up, Adrian? Appreciate you coming through. All right. I think we got all the early birds in here. Okay. Everybody's going to come and settle in. But look, we're going to recap last week's games quickly, and then we're going to move on because we got two important matchups for both of our teams. For B's team, who's tied with us, so no jokey jokes tonight. No jokey jokes tonight. They dominated the Falcons. Dominated. We're going to talk about that game. We're going to talk about the upcoming game against the Patriots. And it's important. Establish a win streak. They get to 2-2, and the outlook of the season is completely different. And I can't wait to talk about them because there's some things I want to talk about when it comes to the Panthers. That and you know, even when they're losing, I told you, like, you know, the rest of the season is going to look different. You know, so we're going to talk about that. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Ravens and the Lions debacle, and then we're going to talk about how we can beat the Chiefs. Ferris is going to be here to help us break that down since his team, the Giants, just played the Chiefs, and even though they lost, I felt like they should have won. They should have won. They should have gone away from Russell Wilson a lot sooner, but you know, it is what it is. But we'll break that down, and we're gonna have a fun. Yeah, we're gonna have a fun court of public opinion as well. So a lot in store for you as well as the overtime show. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact, and B and Nicole have a Black History fact for you.
This week on the LBHT Black History Fact, on February 1st, 1960, 4 black freshmen from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, Ezel Blair Jr., now Jibril Kazan, Franklin McCain, Joseph McNeil, and David Richmond, entered the F.W. Woolworth store in downtown Greensboro, North Carolina, and sat down at the whites-only lunch counter. They asked to be served. When denied, they remained seated in quiet protest until the store closed. This simple yet radical act of civil disobedience was not spontaneous. It was the result of months of frustration, strategic conversations, and inspiration drawn from earlier movements like the Montgomery bus boycott and the teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. The next day, they returned with more students. Within a week, the sit-in had grown to hundreds. Within a month, it had spread to cities across the South, Nashville, Atlanta, Richmond, and beyond. By the end of 1960, over 70,000 students had participated in sit-ins, and more than 3,000 had been arrested. The Greensboro sit-ins became a national flashpoint, catalyzing the formation of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, and accelerating the push toward desegregation in public spaces. Woolworth's itself finally desegregated its lunch counter on July 25, 1960, after months of sustained pressure. The legacy of the A&T4 is profound. Their protest helped lay the groundwork for the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed segregation in public accommodations. But their impact goes beyond legislation. They demonstrated the power of youth-led activism, showing that students, armed with conviction and strategy, could challenge entrenched systems of oppression. Their courage is immortalized on the campus of North Carolina A&T through the February 1 monument, a towering bronze sculpture that captures their determined posture at the lunch counter. Each year, the university holds commemorative events to honor their bravery and educate new generations about their role in history. Individually, the 4 continued to serve their communities. Joseph McNeil became a Major General in the U.S. Air Force, Franklin McCain served on university boards and remained a vocal advocate for education and equity. Ezell Blair Jr., now Jabril Kazan, became a speaker and activist, rooted in spiritual and cultural work. David Richmond, who struggled with the psychological toll of the protest, worked as a counselor and community advocate until his passing in 1990. Their lives reflect both the triumphs and burdens of being young pioneers in a hostile era.
Salute to the Black History Fact. Man, 1964 is when they desegregated the lunch counter.
1960.
1960.
Oh, that was 64. Didn't know
I can't wait.
64.
I
No,
thought I said
it was later in that same year. I think he said 1960.
yeah. Okay, I missed.
Oh, I heard 64. I apologize.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah,
But
because they said that was when they got rid of segregation in public accommodations. So like in the public, and then I think in 68 they passed another bill, the Civil Rights Act, in 68.
man, I can't wait until the next time I talk to Hendo so I can ask him how he felt when they announced that they that he can sit at the counter.
No, July 25th, 1960.
1960.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the clarification. Who else we had in here? Somebody. Oh, 33 Lady Ram. What's going on? Thanks for coming through. I thought I saw you pop in here. Zeke Okage's in the house. What's good, everyone? What's good with you? Kogan's in the house. Says Ravens allocate more first round resources to defense and nothing for O-line. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Just how it says funny man, Jose. Just how we knew you were there.
Indian brown Pop-Tarts.
We know it. What's going on, Coach? Thanks for coming through. Before we get started, special shout out to our dad and our big brother. Today is their birthday. They both have the same birthdays. Okay, so Dad, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Al, happy birthday. We love you. Enjoy your day.
I mean, did I do business with Al or Omar?
Omar.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Happy birthday, big dogs.
Yes. Okay, let's start with the Panthers because they were. Oh, what's up, Jared? Jared's in the house too. Thanks for coming through, man. Look, yeah, they're winners. Okay, congratulations. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody, but we both picked the Panthers. He was a little hesitant to pick them. I wasn't. The Panthers started out this way last year. Okay, they started out really bad.
Yeah.
They start. Didn't they get? I think they got shut out in the first game, didn't they?
They didn't get shut out.
It was awful, and we thought Tracy, what's up, Tracy? Thanks for coming. Tracy's here. We always got to stop the show to say hi to Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. She says, "Hey, friends, happy birthday to your father. It's our father and our brother's birthday."
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It must have been a tremendous birthday gift for your dad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yes, last year they look like they're gonna have to look for a new quarterback. They look like everything was falling apart. And by like the fifth game, things started clicking. They didn't do a whole lot with it, but they looked so much better.
Well, I mean, it was a little after that because Andy Dalton came in after they benched Bryce, and he played okay. Bryce played, I believe it was the first three.
Yeah, so
the first 2 or 3, and then but I'm saying that's when Dalton came in, and then he played for 5 weeks, and then
right.
Florence. I mean, I guess El Grande Americano or somebody hit Andy Dalton with his car, and Bryce had to come back in, and Bryce took off. That was for the the second half of the season.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is with their slow starts. I mean, I think that they need to be playing more in the preseason.
Well, okay. I was
I'm
going
not sure
to say
what they're
that.
doing in the training camp to get ready, but they come out incredibly flat.
Well, I was
year.
going to say that we said that during the preseason. I said I don't like that they didn't get enough reps
Mhm.
in the preseason. They needed to play a lot more because the little bit that they played, they didn't look good. I mean, and they played very little. They played very little. Trill One, what's good? It says just popped in to say what up. Got mod duties on another channel. You talking about Rashad and Dave, Panthers Nation podcast, right?
Well,
I think you're a
thanks
mod
for
over
coming
there.
through, Trill.
Yeah, I
Shout out to
appreciate
Rashad
you.
and Dave.
Tell Rashad and Dave we said what up. Those are our guys over there, man. Yeah, they show us a lot of love over there, man. We appreciate them. But no, man, like they needed more work in the preseason because we knew there was a lot of moving pieces, right? You're getting a lot of guys back that didn't play last year that were hurt. Yeah. You're getting some new players in, especially on the defensive side.
Mhm.
You know, you brought in some new pieces on the offensive side. Like they needed time to gel, and that was evident in the first game where I felt they should have beat the Jaguars. It was just poor execution. That's all.
Everywhere.
And then the next week against the Cardinals, same thing. They should have won that game. They almost came back despite all the mistakes that they had early on. They almost came back and won that game. So I wasn't worried about them, man. I told you, I said every week they're going to look better and better, especially on defense. The defense is a mess right now. Yes, they are lacking in talent, but you have a damn good defensive coordinator. They're going to get on the same page, and they're going to execute a lot better, and they're going to play better. And they showed out on Sunday.
They did. Now the key is to see if they can actually keep that going moving forward. You left out the biggest key to their success, as we mentioned on Sunday. Xavier Legette did not play. He looks like he's trending towards being out again. But yeah, when he's not out there, then the offense looks a little better because you're not playing 10 on 11 anymore. Hopefully after this week, Jalen Coker will be back. He's on IR. They haven't really given an update on him, but they have to miss at least 4 games. So hopefully after that 4th game, he'll be back and ready to go. Okay, Tracy. Yeah, it was a great win. It was a great win. But again, they had to keep it going. And what better team to keep it going against than the New England Patriots? I mean, there are several because New England's actually pretty decent. They've got one of the better O-lines in the league. They're a very stout defense, but I think that they can handle Drake May and whatever he brings to the table.
Yeah. I see the hashtag defunded defense comments in there. Salute. Appreciate all of them, and I also see you guys responding to the poll I put out there. Appreciate that. Keep them coming. But yeah, no. New England is a competitive team. They're not a good team yet, right? And I'm not a fan of Mike Vrabel. I don't think he's particularly good. I don't see any difference between him and Gerard Mayo. Honestly, they should have kept Gerard Mayo.
My one fear is that this is the week that Travion Henderson gets it going.
Goes off.
Yeah, because their run game has not gotten off the ground yet. I think Drake May is their leading rusher for the season with like 87 yards. And historically, Carolina has not been a good run defense. So, that feels like a collision course. But hey, it felt like that last week too with Bijan Robinson, and I won't say they shut him down, but they kept him in check.
Bottled them up.
Obviously. So hopefully they can keep that going. Want to continue to see the young guys play and Scorden and Princely. Want to see a lot more of Ransom. But yeah, I mean, it's really on defense when you don't have overwhelming talent. It's about the attitude and effort, and that's what we really need to see from them. On the offensive side, again, the O-line has to. They gotta keep it together. I thought they played pretty well considering they lost 2 starters last week, and they're just gonna have to try and build on that. They're not the most talented O-line at this point, losing Corbin and Robert Hunt, but I think Caden Mays played well. Chandler Zavala, he's hanging in there, and I think he'll continue to improve, hopefully. And as long as they can get Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle going, I think they'll be able to control this game.
All right. Ferris, what are your thoughts on the game?
No, I'm with you. Like I said, man, this is my second favorite division to watch because you don't know what you're gonna get in the NFC South. You don't know because literally the previous week they completely washed away Minnesota, the Falcons. They completely washed them away, right? And then the game before that they had an epic game against Tampa Bay, right, where Tampa Bay had to come back and beat them. And then this week you're like, oh, they should win, and it should be close, and then they get shut out. You don't know what you're gonna get with this division. You don't know, like you literally don't know. It's literally like it's this division is a box of jelly beans, and it's what what I mean. You could get the jelly beans.
Yeah.
No, because sometimes you get the jelly bean. No, sometimes you get the jelly bean that tastes like barf. And you're like, what is this? What is this game? This game is horrible. And then you have the jelly bean.
You talking about the Bean Boozled?
Yeah, the Bean Boozled. Yeah, like sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get, right?
I don't understand how that game sold so many copies. That's the worst game ever.
It's the worst game known to man.
But Bean Boozled?
Yeah, it's just why would you want to?
No, those are like they sell them. Those are like packs of.
Oh, it's a game
It's
as
also a
well.
game.
Like they sell a board game called Bean Boozled. We have it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Because of your children.
like the Falcons fans, they got the barf jelly bean. The Panthers fans got the raspberry jelly bean. If you like raspberry, I don't know.
The barf one isn't even the worst one.
Yeah.
I got the sour milk one, and let me tell you, I swear to God, they just put sour milk in the bottom. Like it is the worst thing I've ever tasted.
Yeah, but also
I never played that game again.
But also too, like Bryce Young negated because they blitz a lot, right? So he negated it by getting the ball out under 2.5 seconds, right? Which is what didn't happen against Jacksonville, right? Because Jacksonville, he only had 2.6 seconds to throw the ball, which is 0.20 less than his average from last year, right? So getting the ball out quick, and Bryce Young is, he knows that like two of my guards are gone, my starting guards are gone, like they're gone. So I got to get the ball out. It's like boom, I got to get it out. I can't hold on to it. You got to get it, hike.
Hold on, Ferris. We did get a super chat from Melanated One. Thank you very much.
Salute.
Great show, guys. Ravens defense is soft. I dare fans say Lamar needs to play better. Baltimore doesn't deserve a franchise QB like Lamar.
Well, okay. Okay. I appreciate that, and we're going to get to that in the Ravens segment. But there is a poll out there. You can decide that's one of them. Who do you blame for the loss? Do you blame Lamar? Do you blame I singled out two people in particular, 72 and 77 on the O-line. I didn't say any names. I didn't name names. I just threw out some numbers. Okay. Mm-hmm. Or is it the defense was soft? Okay. With capital F's. Or was it Derrick Henry's fumble? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll let you guys decide which one. The poll's open. We'll close it, before we start the Raven segment, or maybe after. We'll see. We'll keep it going. All right, go ahead, Ferris. Continue, please.
Like I said, right? They blitz 60%, 63% of the time, right? They had 6 sacks last week against Minnesota, and so this week they only pressured him 25% of the time and only got 1 sack, and they only pressured him 7 times. So he also went short. Like I said, quick. He went. I believe he generated 270 yards. He had 4 touchdowns and the 6th highest success rate on touchdown this year. So against them, that's what he is, man. Is get the ball out quick, pitch and catch, wherever's open, and that's what made with Hunter Renfrow. He caught 7 of 9, I believe, and 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. And if you like, for fantasy purposes, he was the 8th best receiver that week with 23 points in PPR. It's a PPR league, so depending on what league you are, so like that, he's got very quick, right? Hunter Renfrow, option routes maybe, just getting open in the flat, going 6 yards. Because if you complete it 4 yards at a time, that's first down. You get 2 tries, first down. You got to get the ball out fast. So you got to get it out fast, and that's what he did. But then, the Falcons should have pressured him more, because if you're pressuring 60% of the time, but then you're only pressuring 25% of the time against Bryce Young, that means you're scared of him because he's very good against the blitz. If that's a systematic thing for Raheem Morris, but also too in Atlanta, there's a lot of dysfunction now because he's fired 2 of his coaches, and I believe Ike Hilliard, the receiver coach, he came out and said, "You're scapegoating me and the other person you fired you're not addressing the problem, which is you. You're the problem, right? Because a lot of the reporters have been saying if they're in shotgun, they're passing the ball. They're in pistol, they're running the ball. Everyone knows Atlanta's offense like that. And you're not addressing the problem, which is why have you destroyed the alleged creativity Zach Robinson had, because they assume he's going to be one of like the Sean McVay tree coordinators like Mike and Matt and Kevin. They're assuming Zach's like that, but we don't know if Zach's like that. Because they're not offensive coordinators under Sean. Sean's the coordinator technically. They're the QB coach or the passing game coordinator. So you really don't know if they're good coordinators yet. We assumed Bobby Skolwick was going to be a good one, but you got rid of Stephon Diggs, and then the Texans' offense fell apart. So, which means you can't really create offense like a proper good offensive coordinator.
Wow. Hold on, I said, as a barber, I love this show. It is every stage of beard growth. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Referring to all of our beards, okay? For those of you that are listening, appreciate that. Okay, so look, love what they did on Sunday, and it's just about can they continue to do it against the Patriots? I think they can. Is it at home or is it on the road?
This one is at New England.
At New England, they can get it done. Yeah. And that's another thing too. New England, I watched some of that game against the Steelers. They should have beaten the Steelers, but when you're a bad team, you shoot yourself in the foot.
Oh, I know.
And that's what they did. And it takes time to kind of grow out of that. The Panthers did that the first 2 weeks, and they snapped out of it. I think they have. I honestly think they have a better coach. So it's going to take them less time to correct those mistakes. What's going on, Killer Cam? Says Hola Jose and Mucho Gusto Brodny and Asama Lakim Ferris.
Appreciate the effort.
I think he meant Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Ferris. Alaikum assalam, brother Kareem.
But appreciate the effort, Cam.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. We got another super chat here from Kim. Thank you very much. Kim. Shout out to B's team for that shutout. As for the Ravens, definitely not Lamar's fault. They have bigger issues.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. And we saw Bizarro Felipe came in a little while ago.
Felipe, what's up?
Says Josh Allen winning another MVP, Matabike career-ending injury, and an L next week against the Chiefs. Wow, Felipe. You having a bad week?
I don't think
Felipe is normally pretty upbeat, pretty optimistic.
Let's hope it's not career-ending. I don't think it's career-ending. There aren't too many career-ending injuries these days.
No.
So
it's not like Johnny Knox. You remember Johnny Knox?
Man, I try not to.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That dude got folded in half.
Yeah.
That was really rough to watch.
Damn good wide receiver, man.
When he was okay.
Yeah.
I liked him.
So all right. Any other thoughts before we move on? What's your score prediction?
Oh, score prediction. All right. Well, so Teteroa didn't practice today. So he's questionable, but they say he's probably gonna go. Xavier Legette also questionable. That's the big one. We need that hamstring to flare up again. We need him sitting out this week. If Xavier Legette plays, Carolina squeaks by 17-14. If Xavier Legette is out and he sits out his second game in a row, I'm going to say Carolina 27 and New England 17.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go. Man, they scored 30 points last time. I think they're going to score 30 again. It won't be a shutout. I'll say 30-17. I'll give New England 2 touchdowns and a field goal. What about you, Ferris?
31-7, Carolina.
That's all I
They're feeling good about Carolina again. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't trust the wide receivers on New England.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Sean Booty. And then there's
Kyle Williams. Stephon Diggs is ghost.
Yeah, and what was Demario Davis or
Demario Douglas.
Douglas.
Demario Douglas.
Thank you.
Mario Douglas. Yeah, I
Um,
don't. And I
Hunter
think
Henry. Hunter Henry's going to go off. Okay,
yeah, well,
they don't have
yeah,
anybody who can cover Hunter Henry.
yeah, you're probably right, but also too like, I think Mike Breville, I think he's not gonna play Trey. I don't think he's gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't know why
Uh,
they've got him sitting behind Ramondre Stevenson. I'm hoping that's over now that
That's
Stevenson
it's not even
fumbled
not even
twice
that,
last
Brodny.
week.
Like not even Ramondre's. Like, why is he not playing over Antonio Gibson? That's the
You
biggest.
know what? Antonio got a little something, right?
Yeah, but he also got Butterfingers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that negates a lot of stuff for
Let
people.
me introduce you to Ramondre Stevenson.
Exactly.
All
That's what I'm saying,
right.
right? Like that's what's worse. Like with Ramondre, you have the excuse like he was the incumbent, but Antonio Gibson should never played over him. You
Game
talking
too
about
easy. I agree with you. Game
Come
too
on,
easy says 28-10 Patriots.
Come on now, bro.
yeah, nah, bro. Like I'm
he's
I'm
still
sorry,
he's
man.
still hurting a little bit from.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's
That's all right.
He's
you
still
know,
hurting a little bit.
and you know
from
what? Game too
Sunday.
easy. Be like Bomani. You know, get off that narcotic.
I agree
You
with
Atlanta
this.
you know what I mean?
I agree with this. J6 says 24-17 Panthers
Yeah.
with Nalo finally scoring his first TD. Not the score part. I think they win a little bit more. But
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that it's been coming, right? And
Mhm.
you know, he's getting grabbed on his arm, he's dropping a one-handed catch or whatever, but I think he's gonna break through this week.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think he
because-
gets
Okay, before we go on,
touchdowns.
I asked you this on Sunday, B, but I'm gonna ask this again for the Wednesday crowd and for Ferris since he's here. Xavier Leggett, seeing how more cohesive the offense seemed to be without him. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe it's just coincidence.
It's not.
But do you feel that this should be it for him? He shouldn't even come back to the lineup, or Carolina. You should just trade him if you can trade him.
Well, that depends, right? If he gets healthy and they haven't traded him, I mean, you got to bring him back and see what he can do. If Jalen Coker comes back after this game, he should not come back to the starting lineup. Absolutely not. You know, they should be sitting him down at that point. Like, I don't want to sit here and try to say that there's just no chance of him contributing anything, right? But you know, it doesn't look good, and they can't make the offense about, you know, fixing Xavier Leggett at this point, you know. So yeah, if Jalen Coker's back, he has to take a seat. If Jalen Coker is not back, you got to put him out there and see what he can do, see if he can get anything going. Hopefully, you know, the first few weeks have kind of gotten through his head a bit, and you know, really got him to buckle down and see what he needs to work on. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, they can get a trade done.
What about you, Ferris? What do you think?
It's over, bro. No, it's over. And I know, because here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing about it. The good mark of a GM, like a mark of a good GM is you find out you messed up and you move on and you fix it. We talk about how Howie Roseman fixes his mistakes, because
Yes,
like we say, you can't get it right all the time. You're gonna mess up on occasion. Howie's biggest mistake was drafting Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. That's the one mistake he won. Everyone wouldn't let him forget. And then 2 years later, he drafts Devonta Smith and trades for AJ Brown. You know what I mean? So like, he doubled down on his mistake, right? It's over. He does not excel at the primary function of what a wide receiver does, Brodny.
Mm-hmm.
He can't catch the ball. When
That's
you told me that he was 100 out of 100, you know what I mean? Of like a 0% catch. Is it what I don't know. Remember what you told me? He was 100 out of 100 out of it. Like, he was dead last in catch rate. That's not good. That's not good.
And it just seems like he's not focused the way he needs to be. Like, he had a catch on the sideline. He was wide open. He had plenty of room, and he just didn't get his second foot down. And there was absolutely no reason for it other than your head is just not where it needs to be.
Yeah. Or he was too busy focusing on this, not knowing where his feet is.
Well, no, he had the ball, and he had 1 foot down, and then he just took a huge step out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like, all he had to do is just put his foot down. But you know, you're not focused on it. You're not like I said, your head's not in the right place.
Yeah.
You know, and Bryce looked awful last year, right? and he got to sit down for a few weeks, and he came back with a whole new mindset, and he looked like a completely different player. So hopefully, I know it's only been 1 week, but hopefully Xavier can take this time to get his head right and come back and contribute to the team. But we'll see. I'm not holding my breath for that. I had you know how bad it is with him? I had for over a year now, I've had a note saved on my phone. That was a Black History fact about somebody with the last name Leggett, and I won't do it because of Xavier. And I feel bad because like every week I would see it, and I was like, he's probably not even related. It's got nothing to do, but like I just don't want to put that out there.
He might be.
He could be, and I'm just not gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough. What's rougher than that? The Ravens defense's performance on Monday night, complete embarrassment. We didn't even put any slides out for the Panthers. Do you want to do that before we move on?
Yeah, we have some insights. Let's go ahead and throw those up on the screen if you would do it. We got this one for Drake May. He's thrown for 624 yards, second most, while generating a 51.5% drop-back success rate, fourth highest against zone coverage. Particularly against cover 3, May leads the league with 358 yards passing. The Panthers defense has played zone at the third highest rate this season, 86%, including cover 3 at the third highest rate, 45.8%. All right. Well, Adelia, I hope you have some other ones that are
Positive.
more positive for Carolina. Let's go with number 2 here. JC has allowed a negative 26.6% completion percentage over expected, the second lowest among outside corners, minimum of 10 targets. Horn has been targeted 16 times, allowing 7 receptions and recording an interception. His 43.8% completion percentage allowed is 7th lowest at his position. So that's much better. Like Drake, consider one of your wide receivers erased. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have, I believe, one more. Okay, here we go. The Patriots defense versus the Panthers offense. Traitor Milton Williams has generated the third most pressures, and Christian Barmore is tied with the 4th most pressures among defensive tackles this season, making them the only interior defensive line duo both ranked in the top 7 in pressures. Williams has posted 15.1 pressure rate, 4th highest amongst defensive tackles, which would be the highest pressure rate of his career. The Panthers' interior offensive line has allowed a pressure rate of 4.5%, the 6th lowest in the NFL. Panther center Austin Corbett allowed just 1 pressure on 87 pass blocking attempts. Of course, he is now out for the season, but the 2nd lowest pressure rate allowed among centers. But yeah, like I said, he's out, and it's Cade Mays, and he's got 1 game, so not really enough to gauge for him.
They looked a lot better last game.
They look good, but they lost 2 good pass blockers in Corbett and Robert Hunt. So
So you got Zavala and who else?
Zavala and Cade Mays is the starting center, and they've got Brady Christensen behind them. So
who's the other guard?
The other guard is Damian Lewis.
Okay, so you lost your center and your guard, not your 2 guards. My bad.
Right.
I thought Austin Corbett was a guard. I apologize.
He is, but they've had him playing center.
Okay.
And that's, I think, part of why they looked a little better.
Okay, all right. This
Austin
is fair.
Corbett had problems with snapping the ball the first couple of weeks, and Cade Mays is an actual center.
Gotcha.
This is fair. Jay was expecting a slide for Derrick Brown since I put him in the thumbnail. My bad. Sometimes I put these thumbnails together at the last minute. I was inspired, but Derrick Brown looks like Derrick Brown again.
Yeah,
he was manhandling that O-line out there, and listen, man, that's who he is. When he's healthy, he's one of the top defensive tackles in the league.
Yeah, and A'Shawn Robinson has been playing very well as well. Obviously, DJ Wanham and Pat Jones are out. They're 2 starting edge rushers, so their 2 draft picks that everybody's really excited about are getting to play a lot more. Hopefully, that group, Scorton, Princely, and Derrick Brown and A'Shawn can get some pressure on Drake May, because once again, pressure is production.
And I'd say I'll tell you what else, and this is a little shot, like a little tiny shot, because he's not a bad player, Travis Jones. You can't double team Derek Brown.
Yeah.
Okay. He showed you how to handle a double team on Sunday.
Listen, Travis he's got to grow into that, right?
Yes.
He's still a very young player.
Yes. That's why I said it's a tiny deal, not a major deal.
He'll get there. But if they can get pressure on Drake May, you don't necessarily have to get him down, but you can force him into making bad decisions, force him into making bad throws, and derail possessions.
Absolutely.
Derek Brown mostly a 3-tech.
I mean, he is whatever they need him to be.
Okay.
Whenever they need him. Like they've gone through 4-3, 3-4. They've moved him all around throughout his career. I mean, yeah.
All right. Let's talk about these Ravens, man. Let's talk about it. Let's take a look at the poll. Let's get a little update on the poll here. It looks like these are options. This is what I asked in the poll. Who's responsible for the Ravens' loss? Lamar Jackson needed to play better. Derrick Henry's fumble. Defense is soft. Okay. Or 77 and 72 are basura. Okay. Trash emojis. Lamar Jackson needed to play better, got 5%. Okay. Thank you, Shug, for your vote. Derrick Henry's fumble, Shug's burner. Thank you very much. Defense is soft with 75%. 77 and 72 are trash emojis, 18%. So defense is what's on everybody's mind right now. And how could it not be? How could it not be after 2 drives where you've never seen this punter punt the ball like that before? Never. I've never seen him do that. Put the ball inside the 5 2 times. They have 90.
On the 2-yard line, both times.
That wasn't both times, but
it was both. It was a 98-yard drive both times, wasn't it?
No, the other one was 96.
Oh, okay.
No. So one they got a penalty. I think they had to go back. So that's how they made.
Oh yes, yes.
So but inside the 5, and yes, 95 yards, 4 touchdowns. One of them they took 10 minutes off the clock, almost the entire quarter, and that defense did nothing about it.
You know what was really fun about that, especially the first one, when they crossed about the 25-yard line, Troy and Joe were like, well, this drive's already a success because they flipped field position, and then they went on for another 7 minutes and 70 yards, and they scored a touchdown.
I went to go get a sandwich, and I came back, and they were still driving the ball.
Yeah.
What's up, SB Cam? He says the fact that happened twice in one game, Jose Brodny Ferris, 11-minute drive too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That happens to bad teams. Bad teams give up 98-yard drives.
I mean,
not
even bad teams, really.
Well, yeah, okay.
You know? It'll happen once.
It would happen once, but not twice.
Right.
The sad thing is, usually when teams can chew up the clock like that and score, the other team's offense, no matter how good, is pretty much taken out.
Yeah.
Right. This used to be the strategy for beating the Colts when the Colts were red hot. Let's just keep Peyton Manning off the field.
Yep.
But you know what happened?
Our dad's strategy when we would play him in Madden or NFL 2K.
Oh my God.
He would just turn around and hand the ball off, and it was 3.5 yards, 3.5 yards, 3.5 first down, 3.5 yards, and then all of a sudden you get one possession in the first half.
Yes.
Disgusting.
That was his strategy, and it used to work for him. But
yeah, because when they're inside the 5, the play calling is predictable. They're going to run the ball twice to get out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, you can kind of like if you don't make it obvious, you can just send everybody. Mm-hmm. You can if you don't make it obvious, you can just send everybody on the first drive or two. Just play, But the problem is, you guys don't have good corners.
Well, no, we do have good corners. We have a lot of good players. We just don't have a good
or downplay good where that guy was wide open. That was a corner guarding him.
Yeah, we don't have.
It was Marlon Humphrey.
It was Marlon Humphrey,
and he held him.
Yeah.
But Marlon is a good corner. That just goes to show you
Yeah.
when you don't have good coaching, you don't have good schemes, even your good players are going to look bad. But my point is,
it's man to man. What can coach? We're doing man to man. That's kind
if
of
you're not being put in position to make the play, like Marlon Humphrey, like they on that specific play you're talking about, that fourth down, where Amon-Ra got wide open and everyone was on the line looking for the run. That's what they were told to do. That's what they were doing. That's what Marlon Humphrey was doing. They were all expecting the run, and they hike the ball. Amon-Ra St. Brown runs right by him. And he's like, oh my God, he's running a route. And that's why he grabbed his shoulder. He grabbed his jersey to try and, slow him up so he could catch up to him, and he couldn't catch up.
Yeah.
Right. But my overall point is when you can chew up that kind of clock and score, that takes the other team's offense out of it, right? Because they can't get any time or anything like that.
No flow.
And it worked, right? To the point of you did disrupt their timing. You did kind of, frustrate them, but they still scored 30 points. Like that's what's so crazy about it is even though they took up 11 minutes on the drive almost, Lamar still got the ball and went down and scored. They still scored a touchdown, right? Like the offense kept them in it all game, despite the fact that the defense put them in terrible situations. And yes, in the fourth quarter, it was a bad fumble, not a good time for that fumble, but damn, man, like you're telling me the offense has to play perfect, but the defense can just go out there and play like crap the entire game? Man, hell no. I know Derrick Henry is upset. I know he's beating himself up over it, man, but he should not be in these positions where people are looking at him like he's the reason they lost. 30 points you put up, game should be over.
Mm-hmm.
It should be over. And if you feel like, oh, it's okay to give up 30 points even to a team like the Lions with this defense, then you don't believe that this is a good defense. And
well,
if you don't
believe that defense is a thing,
right? Don't tell me that defense wins championships. Don't tell. And if you don't think that a top tier defense is supposed to shut down the team, mind you, this team got shut down week 1. Only scored 13 points. I'm just saying, but if you don't believe that a team is supposed to hold another team, even with all that talent, to less than 30 points, stop telling me that we need to invest in defense.
Yeah. What did the Kyle Hamilton extension buy you?
Nothing.
Right. Because they're first in the league in scoring. Baltimore is number 1 in the league. They've scored more points than everyone else in the NFL, and they've lost 2 of their 3 games. Because they're second to last in scoring defense.
Yep, 32 a game.
So, Kyle Hamilton's extension, that big contract to Roquan, the draft pick of Nate Wiggins, picking Malachi Starks, picking Mike Green, that big contract to Nnamdi, bringing back Kyle Van Noy. Like, what did all of that get you? Got you one of the worst defenses in the NFL right now.
How do y'all feel about
their bottom 5 in passing per game, rushing per game, and points per game? They're bottom 5 in all 3 categories.
And when you say bottom 5, a couple of them, they're like second to last.
Yeah. Meanwhile, because I know the answer is poor coaching, and it's true.
Yes.
But meanwhile, the other side of the ball is coached poorly as well. You don't have great coaching on the offensive side of the ball, and you have 2 glaring holes in the offensive line in Falalele and Voorhees. And again, they've scored more points than everyone else in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah.
And what we've been saying for years, Lamar Jackson is what makes this team go. You're going to go as far as Lamar Jackson can take you. So you need to invest in Lamar Jackson, not the defense. You need to invest in your franchise quarterback.
Yeah. And if you want to get players on defense, man, get guys, especially if you're going to go with a brand new coordinator who clearly isn't ready to be a defensive coordinator. You need to have veterans that know what to do out there. Roquan Smith needs coaching. He doesn't know what he's doing out there.
And that's crazy because he was one of the best inside linebackers in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like the drastic fall off from Chicago Roquan to this Roquan is insane because
You know,
he was the leader of those Chicago defenses with Vic Fangio. Everyone's like, this defense is amazing. That Roquan Smith.
Fangio is a great coach, though.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
a great defensive coordinator. But I misspoke. I didn't mean to say you need veteran players, because veteran players need coaching too. You need special players.
Mhm.
You need special players. So when Michael Parsons is available, don't say, "Hey, we were interested, but we don't want to pay an edge rusher that much." Well, if you want your talent to mitigate the bad coaching, meaning, hey, Zach Orr ain't putting us in the best situations, but it doesn't matter because Michael Parsons is going to disrupt that play, then you have to pay the price for Michael Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know?
also, well, shout out to, by the way, speaking of the defensive line, right? So Detroit got 8 sacks. You guys got 0, but
They got
speaking
7.
of,
They got 7.
they got 7.
Yeah.
I thought it was 7. Someone told me 8, but I knew it was 7. They were literally, their starting center retired a month before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of Kevin Zeitler. They got Frank Ragnow retired, and for the entire game, they're like, "Oh, can these rookie guards hold up? Can these rookie guards hold up? Can they hold up? Can they hold up? Can they hold up?" And they did. And they found these rookie guards in the later rounds. Tate Rutledge, and I don't know who the other guard was. Who the other guard was? I don't remember. I know that now their center is Graham Glasnow, who was one of their guards last year. He's now their center. And there's like two rookie guards.
Yeah, Rutledge, and I forget the other.
Yeah, I forgot. Damn, played very well. He played very well. And like we talked about Nnamdi Madubuike not being in the games. Like, is that going to be a big problem, right? And I don't think it was because, well, it was because he funnels the focus towards him, but he doesn't get a lot of sacks. So sacking the Jared Goff wasn't going to come from him anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you needed from the outside. You needed Njabo, you needed Adafe Owe, you needed them to come off the edges. And then, Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell basically negated them as well. And if you can't do that, you can't generate pressures based off of Christian Mahogany. Thank you, Daniel. Christian Mahogany out of Boston College. Thank you. Yes. You got to, if you can't rely on the individual talent of your pass rushers, you need to scheme up pressures. Y'all hated Wink Martindale. Most of y'all hated him to the ends of earth, but he knew how to scheme some pressure. Someone was going to come free. You know what I mean? It didn't negate Matthew Judon a lot, absolutely, but someone was coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
From the section 285, probably. We don't know. Someone was coming. This defense is uninspired.
Mm-hmm.
There's no,
Yeah. The last thing I want to say about this, we need to move on to this coming week's game. I just want to say that the Tez Walker agenda is alive and well. He was the number 2 receiver in this game with 1 catch for 34 yards. I said before the season, breakout for Tez Walker. He's basically going to be splitting that number 3 role with DeAndre Hopkins. And
He didn't score a touchdown, though. We didn't score on that drive.
He did.
Thanks, Tez.
He didn't.
Well, he brought you down to the 4-yard line.
He can't score 100% of his catches. Sorry.
Well, I thought he could. He did until that catch.
Hey! All you got to do is run it 3 times with Derrick Henry, right?
Yeah. Well, no, Brodny.
We didn't.
Brodny.
That's the problem. Run it that first time.
Halfback pass.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
But that's the craziest thing. Like, if you sign Derrick Henry, again, if you're not interested in protecting Lamar, but you go and sign Derrick Henry, don't you want to have an O-line that can open holes for Derrick Henry? I guess not.
Guess not.
But moving on to this coming week.
One last thing. Mike Green is a defensive end. He should not be put in coverage.
Mike Green is also not as good as Nick Scotton. So moving on to this coming week, must-win game for both these teams. The Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs, both coming into this one 1-2. Kansas City's coming off a win. Baltimore obviously coming off another, I don't want to say inexplicable loss, but another baffling loss, because you should not have lost to Detroit. But the defense is what the defense is. We've got the Chiefs, who have played well defensively. through the first 3 weeks. They played the Chargers, they played the Eagles. They held them both to 21 or under. Then they played the Giants. Yeah, they did not play very well against the Giants. They were very sloppy in that game, but it's the Giants, so they held them to 9. Sorry, Ferris.
Perfectly fine.
But coming into this game, they are getting healthier. Xavier Worthy was a full participant in practice today. Looks like he's going to be ready to go. And that has been the very obvious problem with their offense is the only receiver they have is Hollywood Brown. And just I love the
Thornton.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's pretty good in the last game.
I mean, they were playing the Giants.
We were literally playing the Giants. What do we expect?
Listen, like, I don't want to say that he's. I'm not saying that he's worthless or anything, but he's not really a starting quality wide receiver. You got Hollywood, and you have a very old Travis Kelce, and they just did not have anybody to put any kind of fear in the defense, and that's what Xavier Worthy's job is. Right, he's the fastest guy in the league. He's supposed to be taking the top off the defense. He's supposed to be threatening those safeties, and then you. Ideally, I mean, obviously, if he wasn't having his off-field issues, then you have Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce eating up the middle of the field underneath. Have not been able to do that, but they're going to get Xavier Worthy back, and so they should get some semblance of their what they were expecting on offense. Not they're going to be 100%, but I would expect them to be able to kind of start to get things rolling a little bit. They have a very good O-line. Pat Mahomes has already been talking about how comfortable he is and how he's not, he doesn't have the happy feet in the pocket anymore because he trusts his offensive line to block the people in front. And there's no threat in the pass rush. So, I mean, that's even double for this coming week, right? For the Chiefs, they have not been able to get their run game going. They've got Kareem Hunt, they've got Isaiah Pacheco, and they've got the rookie Brashard Smith. And you add those
wide receiver
all up together, huh?
They play my receiver a lot.
Well, I mean, I think they're just trying to get them on the field. I mean, maybe just take one of the other guys out then.
That's what I'm saying.
But you add all 3 of those guys together, and you get almost a starting running back.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
You get everything. Right? You get Isaiah's like just running into walls, and then you have Kareem Hunt's catching ability.
Isaiah Pacheco, he's a kid who learned how to ride his bike and just left before they taught braking.
Yeah, and then then you have Brashard Smith. He had speed in him, so you get one running back with all 3, and then they have Clyde somewhere. Clyde is somewhere. Oh, he's not there no more.
Did they bring him back on the?
No, they brought him back this year. He's there. Okay. He's somewhere.
Yeah,
he's somewhere in the facility.
I want to read a super chat from my brother Jared Green. So appreciate you. Says, yo, brothers, the defensive coaching scheme is bad. In addition to that, we have no pass rush. That's what B was just saying. Pass rushers like Terrell Suggs made bad corners like Frank Walker and Fabian Washington look decent. Wow. Facts.
Fabian slander in here. All right.
Frank Walker got a nice little contract thanks to the guys up front.
And he kept on playing that Frank Walker brand of football, didn't he? Fabian got another deal in with the Raiders as well. He got
drafted by the Ravens. By the Raiders.
Did he?
He got drafted by the Raiders.
Okay, I thought he went the other way.
And then he went to the Ravens. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you know what? I'm not going to argue that, Jared. That is correct. But yeah, that's kind of where I was going with this, or what I was getting to. You have the kind of what's been an inept offense in Kansas City so far, up against what's been a terrible defense. That part of the game, that can go either way, right?
Stoppable force versus the movable object.
Right. On the other side, you've got a great offense against a very good defense in Kansas City. So that's where we're going to get our actual football entertainment, I think, out of this one. But what do you think, Jose? How are you feeling? Do you think the defense is going to step up enough to keep Kansas City from getting in the end zone, from putting any points on the board, so you guys can get that win and kind of get back on track this season?
Yes, because like we always discuss, Harbaugh, when his back's against the wall, that's when he shows up, right? There is pressure for him. Can't go, going down 1-3 isn't a death sentence, and we'll remind people why they can go 1-3. I see Felipe, your question about how you feel if they lose this game. We kind of broke that down on Monday night, that it's still all good, even if we lose.
I call it a must win just because you don't want to have 3 losses in your first 4 games. But
yeah, no, but
but
for Harbaugh's purposes, he's going to feel some pressure if he goes down 1-3, right? So when his back's against the wall, he feels a little heat, his seat getting a little tiny warm. That's when he gets his team prepared. And there is talent on the defense. That's the thing. We do have talented players all around that defense. Zach Orr is going to have to dial it in. And yes, I think they do enough. And plus the Chiefs haven't played great on offense, right? They haven't played great. Kelsey isn't the tight end that he used to be. And I think, I'm not saying we're going to stop him, but they're not going to run all over us like the Lions did. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, I also want to point out just real quick, because I know we do have some Chiefs fans who do watch the show.
Just Kim.
What's up, Kim?
And some Chiefs fans, because we're not naming names, Harris. Some Chiefs fans were almost borderline offended when I said that Lamar Jackson was the best player in football. But now Pat Mahomes is out there with his number 1 wide receiver being Hollywood Brown, just like it was back in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. And my man Pat is struggling. As
he's not leading the league in passing touchdowns.
Yeah, he is struggling, whereas Lamar Jackson won MVP with Hollywood as his number 1.
And listen, we like Pat Mahomes. We recognize him as the man, but
the man next to the man.
He's right now. Yeah, he's showing that he's the man standing next to the man, because why isn't he performing at a high level still? There was a time where I didn't think it was possible for him to throw less than 40 touchdowns in the season.
My man threw the ball backwards twice in that game.
I said, I don't see any year in his career where he'll throw less than 40 touchdowns. That's how great he was looking. But you take away Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce ain't who he used to be. The O-line ain't quite what it used to be. And he's still Pat Mahomes, but he ain't that Pat Mahomes.
I can't stand Aikman and Buck, man. Like he dropped back, he turned around, and he threw the ball backwards for a fumble.
And then Mike and Collinsworth.
Yeah. Sorry, them also. I mean, Buck and Aikman also. Yeah. But he ran over and to his credit, he got the ball back from the defender who was trying to recover it. And they were like, man, great play from Pat Mahomes, making that tackle and securing possession. I'm like, he's the one who fumbled the ball. Like, and he didn't get hit. He just threw it over there.
Bro, let's not talk
like
about
that's somebody setting your shirt on fire and then throwing a bucket of water on you, talking about I saved you.
Bro, Bobby Okereke is a disgrace, bro.
Kim's drinking the Kool-Aid. She says, okay, but he tackled a guy and got it back.
See,
Bobby.
You lost 15 yards on the play.
Why don't you hit mute next time you watch in Kansas City? All right, because there ain't no truth coming out of them TV speakers.
No, it's like y'all remember.
Hold on. Let me finish this point. But look, they're not who they're not the same type of offense. Are they going to get better with Xavier Worthy? Yes. Is our defense going to struggle a little bit? Yeah, but they'll play better this week, especially after being embarrassed. They will play better. The offense playing their defense, they have a very good defense, and our O-line, our guards can't guard anybody. But Lamar still finds a way to get it done. I don't think they're going to have any problems scoring there. It's just going to be a matter of, can the defense actually show any kind of resistance whatsoever? And I think they will. I think they do win this game. It's going to be a tough game, but I think they do win this game.
I think Lamar plays well. I think they put up a decent amount of points. I don't think they hit 30, and I think they end up in a loss, because what happens all the time is John gets outcoached by Andy. That's the common theme there, and that's going to happen again.
Okay.
I'm with you, because here's the thing, right?
Well, we both said different things, so
okay. I'm with you, Brodny.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be Kansas City. Is it at home, Kansas City?
It's in Baltimore. I thought it was in Baltimore, wasn't it? No, maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's on the road.
Is it a short week? Thursday? Is that what I was?
No, it's not Thursday.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's at Chiefs.
It's at the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet I think it's gonna be 24-21 Kansas City. Now their defense is legit. Their defense is legit. The only time I've they lost to Philly. They lost to the Chargers. All right. Well, because here's the thing too about Baltimore, right? The Giants, they stink. Okay, they stink. Like we all know that. But there are certain parts of the Giants defense that are completely better than a lot of teams, right? The Giants have produced 30% pressure rate this season, but that's only because the interior has only produced 5 pressures this season. But on the outside, the defensive ends, Kayvon, Abdul, Brian Burns, the pass rushers, they've produced 63%, which is 5th highest in the NFL, the 5th highest share in the NFL. Y'all don't have any of them. That left side in Kansas City, shout out to Kim, big fan. I ain't scared of them. You have a failed tackle playing guard, and you have a rookie coming off of a torn patella tendon.
He's playing very well, though.
Not against the Giants. He didn't.
He got hurt against the Giants.
No, he wasn't.
He did.
What's up, Sutton?
He started most of the game.
I think he did get hurt against the Giants, so I'm pretty sure I saw him on the sideline at some point getting treatment.
Well, I didn't know that. I saw him in the entire game. Kayvon Thibodeau ate his lunch money. The problem is with the Giants is they didn't finish the sack. They would have Patrick Mahomes, and then they wouldn't bring him down. Like they were scared to bring him down. They thought a flag was coming. Like Abdul Carter closed out on Patrick Mahomes like he was playing basketball. Did y'all see that on Sunday night where he was like ball, 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 ball? So what are you doing? Spear him in the chest. If you get a flag, you get a flag. But why are you chopping your feet like you're hooping? Like I don't understand that. He's done that twice, and I'm getting a little irritated. But y'all don't have anybody to take advantage of that right side. Y'all don't play your rookies, so we don't even know if Mike Green can do that.
He plays. He just doesn't do anything.
Okay,
but they drop him in the coverage.
Exactly, they drop him in coverage. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and let me ask you: is he getting past his defense? Okay, no, he's not doing anything, is he?
Exactly,
because he's not getting to the quarterback.
Hey! Shout out to Sutton from Purple Rain Podcast. He's on the Ravens Roundup with myself, Coach Evans, Chris, and Carrie from the Deep Cover Podcast every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So subscribe to Purple Rain Podcast, subscribe to Coach Evans' channel, Sip to Tally Films, and you can see us on the Ravens Roundup on Tuesdays.
Yeah, because the Giants don't have a lot of good on their team, but the edge rushers are the only good. That's it. And they got there. Like the entire game, they were there. And they had a lot of pressures. But they didn't finish. Like I saw one point, I think combined.
So hold on. How you gonna say we don't have anybody that can expose the right side, but you didn't either?
No, we did. We didn't. No, that's what I'm saying. Y'all can't even get pressures. That's what's worse. We were bad and we didn't finish the pressure. You guys can't even get into the backfield. Do you guys have that?
Somebody told me that getting pressure is nothing.
Exactly.
So
I think it's meaningless.
So
it's
you
meaningless.
were also not able to.
No, exactly. It's meaningless. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. The Ravens defensive line can't even get past that barrier. You can't even get a fake. Can't give that fake stat pressures. You know what I mean?
Fake about pressure.
Okay, I want to ask the chat.
How do you have 8 pressures in 1 sack? How does that make sense?
I want to ask the chat this. How do we feel? I mean, I'll go through the different parts of the defense, but how do you feel about this D line without Madubuike? Are we cooked, or hey, we'll be fine? We got to have some better defensive schemes because Travis Jones was supposed to be one of the best nose tackles in the league. Mike Green was supposed to show you that he should have been a top 10 pick. Right? Like he's coming off 10 sacks last year. I thought he was going to play even better this year. He's coming up on a contract. I feel like there is talent there. And if we're saying we're cooked because Madubuike isn't there, what does that go to show you? What does that tell you about the team that EDC built here? All these picks, all the money we're spending on guys. and we still feel like because one guy isn't there, we can't do anything with the D-line. What does that tell you about the type of team that he built? And what does that tell you about building on defense?
It's the same thing that I was talking about with Carolina, right? And recently, some people who I guess weren't old enough to actually watch the 2015 team were talking about how, oh man, Cam had one of the most stacked rosters ever. He didn't carry anybody to that Super Bowl because they had 10 Pro Bowlers and I forget the exact number of All Pro players. But when you actually watch them, it was a roster that was built on Cam Newton on the offensive side and Luke Kuechly on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Now, not that there weren't any other good players. Greg Olsen's a great player. Jonathan Stewart's a good player. They had a couple good offensive linemen. They had, some good players on defense as well. But that team was carried by those two. Without Cam on the offense, it's one of the worst offenses in the league. Without Luke Kuechly on defense, you're terrible. And it's a similar thing to Baltimore. Yeah, you've got some talent. Every team has talent. You can't point to a team in the NFL that doesn't have talent. They all have it. But if you take Lamar away, you ain't winning no games. But that's not the case with everybody, right? We always talk about Howie Roseman being the best GM in the league. He's lost his starting quarterback and still won the Super Bowl. How many of y'all would want Nick Foles as a starter? He won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. The Saints a few years ago, they lost Drew Brees. They popped in Teddy Bridgewater, went 5-0 while he was out. Other teams have great players at other positions that can help carry the load, and Baltimore just doesn't. They have good players who can help support Lamar at this point, but if he's gone, that offense goes to nothing.
Right. Now, Daniel Franklin says worst in the league without 92, middle of the pack with them. Are you sure? Because we gave up 41 points with Matty BK. Yeah, I think we're just as bad. And again, that's not a reflection. It's not a talent thing. It's not a talent thing. It's a coaching thing. Right. And Matty BK isn't a special player. No, there's nobody on defense that's a special player. Nobody. Right.
I think Kyle still could be a special player, but he
could be. But
you gotta be in those positions to make those plays.
Yeah, and with safeties, man, you gotta force turnovers.
Yeah. And, Kyle is on the cusp, but he's not there yet. We don't have those guys. That's why you shouldn't be building.
Also, too, also got to tip our hats to the Lions offensive line. They were one of the best offensive lines. People thought they were done because they lost Kevin Zeitler, Frank Ragnow retired, but Hank Fairley, is it Hank Fairley? Yeah, Hank. I'm not sure, really? My dog. So shout out to you, Elon. Appreciate you. But
that's why I got E.
Yeah. But Hank Fairley, Fairley. he what wasn't it? Fairley, right? Fraley. Sorry, my bad. Hank Fraley, he rebuilt it. I'm pretty sure the Tate Rutledge and Chris Mahogany picks were probably his picks. Him and Dan Campbell's. And they rebuilt that offensive line, and they moved Graham to the center because he's played center and guard, and that's a damn good offensive line. I'm just saying, I don't think the Chiefs' offensive line is as good as theirs. That's probably why y'all were negated on Monday night, because that offensive line is pretty good. Hats off to them. So you may take advantage of that left side with Njabo or Odafe, with Josh Simmons and Kingsley. You could do it, maybe. I don't know. Because I can't really say you guys got worked by one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
I'll say this. I understand your point. And yes, they did play well, and they do deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah.
But they played Detroit 2 years ago, and they wrecked Detroit.
That's a good point. And they had Kevin Zeitler and Frank Ragnow.
Well, they didn't have Zeitler then. It was Jonah Jackson that was the guard, but the other four
were there.
Sewell,
they didn't. Did they have Peanut?
Yeah.
Okay. And Graham and
Decker and Ragnow.
Okay.
And
then
Zeitler was here 2 years ago.
Okay, then he was with us 2 years ago. No, he was with you 2 years ago. Yeah, because we got rid of him. You're right. Okay, yeah, good point. Okay, then you know what? And against my entire point, your defensive line sucks.
Yes.
All right, there it is. Yeah, you're definitely losing. 24-21.
All right. So all right, we have some we got some slides. Let's see what we have here. I haven't looked at them yet. Adelia, would you do the honors?
Ravens. The Ravens are the first team in the Super Bowl era. This is I saw this and I could not remember the exact stats, but with 100+ points scored and 300+ rushing yards in their first 3 games with a losing record. First time ever. Man, Harbaugh just he's smashing through them glass ceilings, man.
Shout out to them records, man.
Baltimore has accumulated 111 points scored and 368 rushing yards while posting a 1-2 record through week 3. The 96 points allowed are the most by the Ravens through 3 games in a season in franchise history. Let that sit in.
I mean, all right. I mean, that's enough for a coach to in with a team that's in the Super Bowl window to get fired right now.
Yeah,
that like any other franchise that's serious about winning, like that's enough for them to get fired. But EDC, man, like he is cooking. He is cooking. He just made Kyle Hamilton the richest safety in NFL history. Roquan Smith, $100 million. How much did Matt BK get? He got a big contract.
He got $100 million.
Right.
It's like 90.
He got a big contract.
Yeah.
You just cut Marcus Williams, who you paid $70 million for. You spent the first round pick on his replacement.
And you got Nate Wiggins.
Drafted Nate Wiggins in the first round.
Got Jair Alexander.
You just got Jair Alexander, and you drafted Mike Green in the second round when you absolutely had to get a guard because you didn't get one in the first round. You said, but Mike Green is a first round talent. And
they said Trent Simpson's not quite, he's not getting it quite fast enough. Let's also draft Teddy Buchanan.
You did all of that.
Could have had Christian Mahogany.
You did all of that, and you have built the worst defense this franchise has ever seen. EDC cooking, man.
A damn shame.
Hey man, let's not slander Teddy Buchanan, man. Shout out to the boy Teddy, man.
Nobody slandered Teddy.
What's the next slide?
Next. All right, the Ravens offense. The Ravens have recorded a 20.3% explosive run rate this season, making them the only team in the NFL over 16%. Lamar Jackson leads the NFL with 8 explosive runs, which are 10+ yards, while Derrick Henry has added 6 explosive runs, tied for 4th most among running backs. Henry's explosive rushing ability stems from his speed, since he averages 10.28 miles per hour at the line of scrimmage, 7th quickest in the NFL. That is not fair. And is the only running back with multiple 20+ mile per hour carries this season with 2. Derrick Henry's not allowed to be that fast, that quick, and that big. That's dumb.
I just go back to the it was his senior year. Like I used to think Mark Ingram was a big guy.
Yeah, because he is.
He's a big guy. And then when I saw him standing next to Derrick Henry.
As Derrick Henry's offspring.
Yes. I was like, this is my son, Mark. I was like, he's not fast. He can't be fast. That man fast.
It's fast as hell.
For years I was very upset that they didn't give the Heisman to Christian McCaffrey, which I still kind of think they should have, but he lost it to Derrick Henry. So it's not like when Robert Griffin III stole Andrew Luck's Heisman.
We have to go over this again.
No, I'm just saying.
He had better numbers across the board.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever.
Across the board.
All right, we got one more slide. One more slide.
Across the board.
Whatever.
Lamar Jackson completed 12 of 14 passes for 189 yards and all 3 touchdowns against the blitz in week 3. Jackson leads the league this season with 6 touchdowns against the blitz while generating a 60.5% success rate and plus 0.7 EPA per dropback when facing a blitz. The Chiefs defense has blitzed at a 36.5% rate this season, 8th highest in the NFL, including the 4th highest rate on early downs at 40%. Despite their aggressive approach, Kansas City has experienced the largest decrease in pressure rate when blitzing in the league, generating 39.4% quarterback pressure rate when not blitzing, compared to just 31.6% when sending extra rushers. That's got to be discouraging.
Well,
stop blitzing.
Yeah. What they're doing ain't working.
And especially if you're going to be playing Baltimore, where Lamar is surgical against the blitz. You know,
But
that doesn't phase him. And you've got Chris Jones, who should manhandle either one of those guards.
But this is where
And George Karlaftis on the.
But this is where it comes in. This is where we talk about where we say, you know, there's a lot of unprofessional coaches, GMs out there in the league. There are a lot of people that they just shouldn't be in their jobs, because what fuels this idea that you can blitz Lamar and force turnovers?
I think it's just, what else am I going to do? Because I can't not blitz him and have him just tear us up. You know,
well, hold on. I don't think that's what it is, because they have told on themselves, right? Like, they had these anonymous, coaches come out and say, "Oh, I don't, I don't care about what he did last year. He still can't pass." Like there are coaches out there that believe. I think. I don't think this is Spagnuolo, but I'm just saying, like, there are coaches out there that really believe
he can't pass the ball.
He can't pass. We're gonna keep him in the pocket. We're gonna send things at him and see if he can make quick decisions. And they get smoked out there.
For sure. But I don't think that's the majority of the coaches.
Yeah, because you still need to like mix it up, right? Because like coaches like you, like if it was me, I'll probably just drop 8 all the time and send 4. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care. But then you got to mix it up. Then Lamar would just find the hole in the zone all the time. But then the thing is, if you can send 4 and get home with 4, then you're chilling. With this offensive line, I think that can happen. I think Kansas City can send 4, drop 8, and they're fine, because like you said, for the past all summer and these past 3 weeks, this offensive line is horrible.
But the reason why you don't want to send 4 is if he hands it to Derrick Henry and you're only sending 4.
Well, no, but then
the guys that are dropping back, by the time they go to meet him, he's already at full speed. That's not going to work.
Exactly, but that's the problem, right? So how do we got to mix it up? So I got to blitz one time or sometimes, you know what I mean? Or you have your linebackers, they taught me growing up. You take your one initial step, which is called your run step. You run step, and then they're not running, drop back. But if you have those, because with Kansas City, I think they're probably the only team where they really like their 3 linebackers, like Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel, and Drew Tranquil. They play a lot together. You know what I mean? They play a lot together. So they could probably be like those 3, do your run step, your 1-2. Oh, it's a run. Go fill the gaps. 1-2, it's a pass, drop back. They could do that because the 3 wise men, there's 3 men on the field that never lie. It's the guard, it's the center and the 2 guards. Wherever they go, you know what you're gonna get. Are they pulling? If they're pulling, there's a run possibly. If they're leaning forward, they're leaning back. It could be a run, it could be a pass. You don't really know. Well, you know, because they're the 3 wise men. But you're kind of screwed because, like you said, you drop 8, they're gonna run the ball all night. But if you don't drop 8, you may get carved up. So you got to mix and match. And you got to really trust your defensive coordinator. And let's be real, there's not a lot of good defensive coordinators in the NFL, but this guy is. This is probably the, you may, if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you're probably gonna say Dick LeBeau, or depends. This is probably the second greatest or the greatest defensive coordinator in NFL history. That's just my opinion. Some Eagles fans could say Jim Johnston. You could say that. But Steve Spagnuolo got the 4 rings to prove it. You know what I mean? And he was, and he was probably the main key to stopping most teams. So yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go that far. But
okay, who's better than him?
You said Dick LeBeau for sure.
Yeah, it's Dick LeBeau.
You're not giving
Monty Kiffin.
Yeah, Monty Kiffin did it with one team, right? And that was a great team.
Changed the way everybody plays defense.
Okay, fine, you can say that. But then at one point, Monty Kiffin kind of lost his touch. Steve Spagnuolo has evolved his defense.
Steve
Spagnuolo has kept evolving.
Okay, but everybody loses it at some point.
Wait.
30 years from now.
Just because you were coaching on a Super Bowl team doesn't make you the greatest coach, right? Like they don't have any all-time historic defenses.
Exactly. Who on this defense?
So what makes him? So what makes him?
Who on this defense?
No.
Who on this defense, right? Because Monty Kiffin, you could say, was elevated by the four horsemen of the apocalypse on that defense.
Or you could say, as we're witnessing in Baltimore right now, the opposite, that he elevated those guys.
Right.
Probably right. But then look at the defenses here in Kansas City. He's elevating them. Right? He elevated the defenses in New York in 07, stopping the greatest offense of all time.
He's a damn good
coach. They had some pretty great players on that defense too.
Well, outside of Michael Strahan, a lot of people were talking about Justin Tuck and Chris Canty. You know what I mean?
I don't care who people were talking about. They had great players on the team.
You know, you telling me Corey Webster that great? I do. You know, Corey Webster, my guy. You know what I mean? That's my dude. I love Corey. You know what I mean? That 07 team, crazy. You know, Kavika Mitchell. You talking about Kavika?
I'm saying they were a very talented defense.
I'm saying he coaches them up really well.
Yeah, that's good.
He
and Monty, so did Dick LeBeau, so did other guys. But whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyway,
he shut down more opponent offenses this
score
time
predictions, and then we'll go core public opinion, and then we'll do some other questions. We gotta move faster here. Score predictions. You guys picked the Chiefs to win. I think you said 24-21, Ferris.
Yes.
Is that your score, B?
I am going to say, I'm going to say 24-17. No, 24-20. 24-20.
I said earlier that the Ravens aren't going to score 30 in this game. I lied. They're scoring 31, and the Chiefs are only going to score 17, and the Ravens are going to have 2 turnovers in this game.
So I'm saying, Kim, thank you, Kim.
Nobody's hating on Spagnuolo. No, man. Saying
that he's not the
greatest. Saying that he's not the greatest defensive coordinator of all time is not hate.
I'm just saying, if you gave him Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, John Lynch, I was about to say
you let Ferris lead you down the wrong road. We just said he's a damn good coordinator. He is not the greatest defensive coordinator of all time. He's not even close to it.
You can make a case.
You can't make a case.
Yes, you can make a case.
What's the best defense?
You can't make a case.
Yes, you can make a case.
What was the best
defense?
Kansas
City?
I don't know. I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs
because
fan.
none of them were great.
Yeah, right. But hey, man, but they stopped those high potent offenses. Lamar Jackson didn't score more than 17 points in that one playoff game.
Cool. That's cool. They scored 10 in that game. And what offense was he stopping in that game?
Didn't the Tampa Bay defense stop that high potent Chiefs offense in the Super Bowl? Are they
remember the greatest show on turf when they played Tampa Bay in the playoffs?
13-10.
No, they played
it was the Raiders. They played the Raiders in the Super Bowl, but the greatest show on turf.
I didn't say in the Super Bowl. I said in the playoffs. They played Tampa Bay to get there. They beat Tampa Bay because the league was hating on my man Sean King. But the greatest show on turf didn't attend that game.
Yeah, 13-10. That's true.
That was 13-9, but whatever.
Was it 13-9? That was 13-10, my bad. But hey, man, now the rules have changed.
But that was
rules
Kurt Warner.
Now.
That was Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, and Isaac Keem.
What about our face? Kim says she's looking at our face. Stop it. Stop our face. What?
I'm just saying. No, the rules have changed now. They benefit the offense, and he's still producing some good defenses, man. If he was back in 2002, where you're allowed to commit a homicide down the middle of the field, of course the teams look good.
Mike McDonald's defense allowed 16.5 points per game a couple years ago.
Yeah, and guess where that happened? It happened nothing. The Spags defense got to the Super Bowl.
Where's it have them now? Where did it have them last year? And where does it have them now?
Last year, it was the offensive line. That was the problem last year.
The offensive line gave up 30 plus? Oh my God.
Short fields, man. Short field, dog. Also through the curse of the president.
That's insane.
Next time, Chris Jones, don't try to shake his hand.
Your boy Spags was putting the left tackle on AJ Brown.
We gotta move.
Damn right, absolutely.
All right, Mr. Type 45's here. Okay, we gotta move on to court of public opinion, and then we gotta get to some big questions, and then we gotta get to the overtime show. You want to be a part of the overtime show? Hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/LBHTShow. I think the membership's still open, so I will post it in the memberships right after the stream. Just go over to the membership tab, and I'll put a link in there for the overtime show. It's just $5 for a membership, $5 on Patreon. We have other tiers if you want some other nice perks, and it's all worth it. Okay. You get access to our Discord channel as well. That's a lot of fun. Also, LBHTShow.com is where you can buy the merch. Not this merch. I know you guys are looking at this saying this is a clean shirt. This is a prototype. It will be on the store soon, though. If you guys like this, we will put that up there. But we have some new designs. B wants to show you.
We have an updated design for the Baltimore shirt
Simeon Rice
that you wear quite a bit. And this is the Ravens wings with East and West Baltimore, and then the Baltimore city skyline there in the background. Just a little update for the current design. I know y'all aren't feeling that right now because what happened to you on Monday night, but
way to sell the product. Thank you, B.
Maybe I'll be a little more into this one for the Panthers fans coming off of that shutout.
Yeah, man.
Same record, Panthers.
No peers, only five. But one's on the upswing. I keep telling y'all, the upswing is what matters. All right, they won last week.
Question: Why is Tampa Bay a skull? Why isn't it like a pirate?
Well, have you looked at their?
He doesn't pay attention to that stuff.
You looked at their logo?
Yeah, it's a pirate.
It's a skull.
I'm looking at the old logo. My bad. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
My bad. By the way, it was
you
Rice.
wanted me to
Simeon
point out
Rice.
when you were wrong.
Okay, so continuing our promo.
Thanks
for cutting us off.
And then next up, for those who are regular watchers of the show, you might remember when we had a certain guest who may have outed us as members of the Fells Point Mafia. You can get that hoodie right now up on the store at LBHTShow.com.
I bought that one. Got that jacket.
Nice. All right. Yes, LBHTShow.com is where you can buy some merch and more. There's more stuff up there. Also sign up for the newsletter, LBHTShow.com. Just put in your newsletter, your email, and I'll get the newsletter out to you guys. All right. Court of public opinion. What we got, B?
Wow. I just got to put this up here real quick. Pay the Bill says Ferris should be disbarred after that ambulance chasing.
What?
Let's go ahead and take that down now. Thank you, Pay the Bills. Appreciate
Thank you.
Damn,
Thank you.
I don't even know what that means.
It means you're making a fraudulent case for your boy. For a court of public opinion, I believe we have a video.
I could want that
Adelia.
case.
So before we play the video, before we play the video, this was about this was in the Giants game. Okay.
Yeah, it was after the game. Chris Jones being interviewed on the field.
Asking about Russell Wilson's Russell Wilson's jersey swap.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you told us that you have asked Russell Wilson multiple times for his jersey to do a jersey swap, and you've never gotten one.
Never gotten it.
Did you ask him again tonight?
I don't even want it. It's all good. I don't want it. Hey, over time you kind of understand that now I don't even want it. It's love and war.
Wow.
He just straight up said, "Man, forget that jersey." First, since Russell Wilson is cooking for your team now, how did you take that? How did you take that? Is he wrong for saying that out loud? Like, man, forget the jersey, or is it, hey, man, he asked you before?
Yeah, bro was thirsty. He was thirsty for it for years. Thirsty for it. Now, Russell's bad now. So of course, he's gonna kick him while he's on. He's like
bad
that.
Now.
Yeah, he's bad now. Bad at the last 3 years. Now he's bad. You know what I mean? But you were thirsty for it in Seattle. You were fiending for it. You know what I mean? You come off as a clown. You're a clown.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Okay.
It's like that Kyle Brandt situation, right? Because I remember it was during the Denver years, right? And people were just piling on Russell, right? And then Kyle Brandt goes on NFL Network and says, "Oh, we can finally talk about who Russell Wilson really is." Why couldn't you talk about that when he was in Seattle, when he was winning stuff? You were scared to call him out. So you were scared to call him out. You always thought he was a clown, Russell Wilson, but because he was winning in Seattle, you didn't want to rock the boat. But now, because everyone's piling on him now you want to start saying like, "Oh, I've always thought he was a clown." Kyle Brandt, like that's why I was like, Kyle Brandt, that's clown shit on clown stuff on Kyle Brandt, and this is clown stuff as well. You were fiending for it, like a drug for years. But now he's
said was he asked him a couple times.
Yeah, no. Well,
we got a super chat here.
Some clown stuff, bro.
Thank you. FPS Doc Thank you for the super chat. Says Sleepy John, make it go viral. There you go. Hashtag Sleepy John. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, too, Melissa Stark set him up. Like, why even ask that question? You set him up.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, he was asked the question. He answered the question. There's nothing clown about that. Like, if you ask him for a jersey swap, that's a thing that players do after every game, right? They go and they swap jerseys. They take the pictures, blah, blah, blah. If you asked him for it and he blew you off however many times, of course you don't want it now. Why would you?
Yeah, I'm with Kim. She said the same thing. How's he a clown? He got tired of asking and not receiving. But
why is that even a story?
But my thing is,
like, why
well, that's not my thing. My question is, how many times did he ask?
That's what I'm saying. How many times?
Like, I'm just saying that, and this could be a non thing, right? He just got, he might have brought it up, during a pre-production meeting or something like that, and they brought it up at the end of the game. He's just like, man, I'm not tripping off of that. I know for me, I might ask you twice, depending on what you say the first time. If I ask you the first time, like, hey, you want to do a jersey swap, and you're just like, nah, I'm good. I'm not asking you again. But if he says, hey, not this one, not this time, next game or next time we play or whatever, I got you. I might keep asking, like, oh, maybe he forgot or something like that, or I'll have somebody remind him, like, hey, you said next game or something, right?
And here's the two: you only find out in a production meeting unless Chris Jones told you. Because that's something a reporter cares about. So he volunteered.
You don't know but you don't know how that came up in the conversation. Like they have conversations with these people. They don't have they have their set of questions, but you've interviewed people before. You have interviewing skills. Like, you just start,
talking.
Talking to them, and then they start revealing things to you. So
but sure honestly, bro, if it was me, okay, like, all right, clown maybe. If he asked him once and then he said no to him, then then Chris Jones is not a clown. But if he kept asking him everything was like, bro, like you shouldn't ask after the first denial. If he straight up said no, don't ask him again, because you don't want that jersey then, because he doesn't want to swap with you.
We didn't get clarification.
Like, how many times has he done?
Chris Jones didn't say that he kept on getting no's. He just said
Melissa said she asked him more. Her question was, you've asked him a lot of times. She like more than one.
But neither, at no point did she say he told you no, or did he say, hey, I kept getting a bunch of no. She just said, you've asked him multiple times. He's over there now. You want to go ask him? He's like, I don't even want it at this point, basically, right?
Yeah, so we don't even know the conversations.
Which sounds like I asked him. He didn't say no. I thought maybe he forgot. I asked him again, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got you." And then he didn't do it. And then and after a while, just like, man, yeah, I don't want it.
Now let me ask you this. Is Russell Wilson guilty? Right?
Yes.
Hold on. Did he intentionally blow off Chris Jones, or did he just truly forget?
I don't know, man. Like, Russell Wilson's a family man. He's busy taking care of Future's kid. He's out there doing the right thing. He's out there being a role model. He doesn't have time for the jersey swap conversation.
Okay, we're here because B, we have to set a precedence for when we're on trial one day, because there are many people that we say, yes, man, we got collab, we got to come on the show, and we proceed to not bring them on the show because we are bad people.
Because that's the thing.
We are bad with scheduling guests.
No, that's the problem, right? We don't know. Okay, all right. Calling him a clown is a little aggressive. I apologize, Chris Jones. I think you're a clown for other reasons.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
I do. I'll tell you.
Wow.
We don't know the conversations he had with Russell Wilson.
No.
We don't know. If it comes out that Russell basically blew him off and said, then Russell, he's kind of a clown for that. You say no and then move on. But we don't know what was the conversation between him and Russell. There's a section of this question. The evidence is lacking here. We need that. We need to subpoena that information, but we can't have that information. You know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know what that question is.
We need to get another cash app and pay the bills. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
He said Mr. Unlimited don't have time for that. That's right. He had to get back to the locker room, drink those nanobots, get himself ready to hold that clipboard next week. He is not concerned about what Chris Jones needs. That is for Chris Jones' father to worry about.
Mhm.
Again, Russell is busy being a man of his own, busy raising a man, and he does not have time for these nonsense conversations.
He has.
I
Like
think that
3 other
probably,
children.
I don't care. I think that probably Russ is very open to it now that he is no longer a starting quarterback in the NFL, and
We
Yeah.
we're 3 weeks away from nobody caring about Russell Wilson
Yeah.
at all.
Well, I
we
think
feel
it
like
already started.
Here's why we feel like Russell Wilson's guilty, because he's established a pattern of being kind of a jerk, right?
Yes.
We've heard stories from Marshawn Lynch. We've heard from Richard Sherman. Other players that they just don't like the guy, and the way he moves, like he just comes off
Michael
real
Robinson.
phony.
Well, thug
Right.
and thug. So, you got anything else, or
Okay, don't
well,
call him Marshawn Lynch.
well,
That's not
but-
cool.
But no, like he like you get that feeling from him, like that. Yeah, he's very disingenuous, right? But I mean, what if he just doesn't like Chris Jones?
because
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not bringing any evidence. How about this? How about one of the greatest leaders of men of all time? Okay, Wisconsin and NC State and Seattle and Denver, and now and then Pittsburgh, and now what? Greatest mentor ever?
No, because
Well,
here's
I
the thing.
think
No,
so.
because here's the thing. If he straight up was like, "I don't like you," no, you can't have my jersey. Then and
What if
Chris
he's
Jones.
he's trying? What if
because
he's
the
just trying to be tactful?
interviewer-
Not
the-
everybody's you, Ferris. We just like, ew, get out my face. No, right? Like he's trying to be tactful and be like, oh, well, maybe next time or whatever. But what if he just like, man, I don't want to give him my jersey, man.
Kwame,
Like
correct Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
Super Bowl winner. Yeah, correct.
Second black man ever to win
And
a Super
loser.
Bowl.
Yes.
That too.
You didn't have to throw that in there, Kwame. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what you're like. Whose
No,
side are you on?
but that's the thing, where like Melissa Stark, she kind of assumed like he asked more than once. Like, you've asked Russell Wilson for your jersey.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. So you when someone don't want to give you something. Move on, Chris. If he doesn't like you, move on, bro. And
I
and
feel like-
Chris seemed a little angry
And we
answering
gotta-
that question. The
right.
tone in his no basically means I don't like him.
Last point
So
on this,
something
and then
happened.
last point on this, and then we got to move on to so many questions. It feels like Chris Jones and a lot of players are like this. They have to have some sort of chip on their shoulder going into these games. They have to have something to get them up for these games, and they have to make up something in their mind for why they're angry at this person. They gotta go and just take it out on them. It feels a little bit of that with Chris Jones. Like, I remember that time I asked you for a jersey and you didn't give it to me. So
The program.
I gotta make you pay. Like what Shaq, used to do when he tell his 100 lies about players and whatnot.
David Robinson.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That big old lie.
Feels a little bit like that.
It's-
All right,
it's
let's go.
the program.
Yeah. So all right, submit questions. We got questions, B?
No, we don't have any submitted questions. I'm looking right now. Chris Jones didn't even play Russell Wilson until the end of his third year. I was going to say, maybe it was young player Chris Jones, not established, asking superstar Russell Wilson, and Russ blew him off. But end of his third year, Chris was pretty established at that point. I don't know, man. Like, it just feels like.
And how many times they
like
faced
Russ
each other,
was being
right?
a
Because
dick.
they were in two separate conferences for many years, right?
Yeah. What year did Russ leave Seattle?
Okay, so last year he was in Pittsburgh, and then the year before he was in Denver. So that's 2024, 2023, 2021, 2022.
Let's see here. They played them in 2022. And yeah, Gino was there already. So he played him, looks like, twice while he was in Seattle.
Yeah, so he left in 2021, Seattle.
Actually, it looks like he only played him once.
In Seattle.
Yeah, while he was
And then
in
he faced
Seattle.
twice three times in Denver.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. It just it seems odd. It's an odd story. If you want his jersey that bad, just go on eBay and get one. I'm sure there's plenty.
Yeah, man, like, and the price is dropping. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, so you're good, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. No submitted questions. I'll
Who's
put in
guilty?
Both of them are guilty,
Okay,
honestly.
all right. Okay, yeah.
I can't even.
All right.
All three of them. Even some people in the audience were like, Melissa Stark's guilty too. All three of
All
them, I
right,
guess.
quickly, Ferris, because we went from type 45 to hour 45. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me every Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific. Good Friends, Better Rivals. Me and Caleb, we do NFC East, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants on the Good Friends, Better Rivals sports channel.
All right. Okay.
We also have a new
Patreon.
show.
What's your new show?
It's called The Fairway. It's a special edition show. We're talking golf, the Ryder Cups this week, guys.
There you go. Okay. Members, YouTube members, the link is posted. Just check in the comment section for it should post up in the members only section. The link to the overtime show is posted in there. Patreon members, you should have already gotten a notification that the link the show is going live here pretty soon. That is it.
Well, I do have one question. We don't have any submitted questions. I've got one real quick one. Okay. Just to remind everybody, this week is the beginning of the overseas games for the NFL. The Vikings are playing the Steelers over in Dublin. The Vikings are again playing in London the following week. How do you guys feel about the overseas games? That's starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, by the way, just so you don't miss out.
I'm not a fan of them. I mean, look, whatever. They can play the game anywhere. I'm going to watch it. But in terms of what they're trying to do, they're trying to globalize the sport. And really, they're trying to leverage to see what team they can get moved over there. And I'm not a big fan of that necessarily. There's some things that they can do if they want to get more people interested. Get rid of salary cap. That's one. Get rid of the draft. There's a lot of things that you can do to expand the sport other than trying to get a country that's not interested in the sport to be interested.
Okay, Ferris, what do you think?
And they're stupid.
Wow. All right. Well, okay. I guess I'm going to be the voice of reason here. I enjoy it. You say these countries aren't interested, but this is how you get them interested, right? This is like the dream team kind of thing where, hey, watching Jordan and Barkley and all them stomp on their countrymen got all those Europeans interested in playing basketball, and now they've taken over the NBA all these years later, right? But you're sowing the seeds. You want to have more fans globally. I do enjoy it. I think it's nice to have a different atmosphere to the games too, right? I think that I understand why they have them in the same places every year, but I would like to see them kind of move around a bit. I've always wanted to go to Italy. You could go hop over there, play a game in Venice, right? You got the canals and the gondolas and whatnot. And what I really like about Venice too, it's like Target, where you could like make it fancy if you want. People say Target, call it Venice, I call it Venice. Okay, just class it up a little bit. But you can have it there. Go play a game in Africa. They played in South America and in Mexico already. Go play in Japan. There's a lot of interest in Japan in football. I think it's good to. I mean, I know that they're doing it for money, but I think it's good generally to grow the game and give more people the opportunity to play and come over to the NFL. It's like that old saying where talent is talent. I can't even remember the name. I can't even remember it now. I can't remember the exact wording, but it basically is saying the talent is spread out evenly, but opportunity is not. Right.
Oh, no,
the greatest player of all time might be sitting in South Korea right now and not even considering ever picking up a football, right? Because it's just not part of their culture. You expose the game to more people, you get more people to play, you get more great players potentially.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm a fan of that.
I understand from that aspect, but
talent is equally distributed. Opportunity is not.
Yeah,
there it is.
I think because I also think the reason some of them they play at certain stadiums, some of these certain stadiums they're multi-purpose, right? Because not a lot of these stadiums are built for like.
Kwame, do me a favor, real quick. Name a country that's not racist.
That's a good point, Kwame. Like they all do that. But yeah, I understand that. That's why when they were in Germany, they played Munich, played in Dublin, they play in England, Mexico, and but then I get it, but like, are you making inroads? Like we've been doing this since 2000. The first England game was Miami, New York, in 2007, I think, 6, something like that. So, 20 years, like where, like the benefits, like where are the benefits? Like, are the ratings up?
More fans over there.
Yeah,
like, it's a slow process, but it doesn't go anywhere if you don't put in that work.
That's true. They should go to Nigeria. I actually would. That'd be cool. Yeah. There's a Nigerian lineage in the NFL, so going to Nigeria would be cool. That'd be cool.
They would never do that, but I'd be for it.
Yeah, they absolutely not. They would never do that. Yeah.
I think they would. They've had a program where they gave teams exemptions to sign African players, right? To get more
international
players into the league. So I think they would do it. Not before London. Not before London and Germany and Ireland, Australia. Not before all the whites, but they would do it eventually.
Well, college does that, right? Because a lot of the African players, they play for. Funny enough, they pay for like Utah or BYU. That's probably another reason why they're at BYU. Yeah.
All right.
Like Ziggy Ansah. Like Ziggy Ansah is like the prime example. Like he never played football ever. He sends a tape to a BYU recruiter, and the BYU recruiter knew one of the missionaries that was with Ziggy, and they brought him over, and 4 years later, Ziggy Ansah is a first-round pick for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
OCU Manura, he's from England, came to Troy, and then boom, got drafted by the Giants. Jay Ajayi, he's British too. But they're coming playing college ball though. See, they're coming to play college ball. They're not going straight to the league because Adelia would probably know this.
The league without playing.
I'm saying like they don't. So the programs, the international pathway programs, they're not really working because some of them they go straight to training camp and they become like exempt. Like the Giants had 2 of them. But there's this dude, the best rugby player. Sorry.
Hold that thought. We'll take it over to the overtime show. Ferris has a lot of thoughts on this topic. And we're going to continue the topic on the overtime show. What are we talking about? What's our main topic? Your favorite person, Stephen A. Smith.
Again.
The boot. He is the bootlicker. Okay, like if you look up bootlicking in the dictionary, his face will pop up. And we're going to talk about just the disgraceful things that he's been saying and just how much of a sellout he really is.
The biggest coward on earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you might like Stephen A. Entertainment purposes. He's been on the radio. He's been on ESPN for a very long time. And if you're just entertained by him, it's whatever. I don't find him entertaining anymore. I think he's a complete clown, but he's delving into politics, and you should absolutely not listen to anything he says whatsoever. If you're just learning about politics, if you're just getting into it, definitely do not look to Stephen A. Smith. If you're somebody that's a little bit older and you enjoy him, do not. You should know better than to listen to somebody like this. He's somebody that intentionally is ignorant on things. He tries to play the both sides thing, and a lot of times he'll just tell you flat out lies. Okay, don't follow somebody like that. Don't take anybody like that seriously. He's just a clown. Okay, and we're going to get into that on the overtime show. So this is something that you're going to want to check out. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is how you do that. All right, that is it. Adelia is ready. Patreon members, get ready. The overtime show starting right now. YouTube members, get ready. The overtime show is getting ready to start. Everybody else, have a great night. We will see you next time. Peace.